are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. I am so excited to be here back on season 9. We're actually recording this from my backyard on a beautiful day. You will hear planes flying overhead. You will hear lawnmowers in the background. We are outdoors in suburbia and we are loving every minute of it. I've got a whole breakfast in front of me. Thank you to Central Perk for dropping something off. I think Nachum and Miriam did a show back there about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm a big fan. As you know, we gave them a big shout out on last week's show. Big fan of Central Perk. Their outdoor seating, their 50% capacity. It's a destination restaurant during COVID. And he just was so nice. He was an absolute doll. Told him I was doing the show this morning, and he sent me over some hot muffins. Noam, hot fresh muffins. We've got my favorite avocado toast. He said an eggplant parmesan, but I think he thinks that's going to Nachum. We know that Nachum likes eggplant parmesan, so I've got to somehow get that to Nachum. So, okay, I'm really excited to be in the hot seat. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Naomi Nachman. I'm about all the food, all the time. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. I give cooking classes, Zoom classes, run cooking competitions. I'm a personal chef. Maybe I said that, I'm not even sure, but I'll say it again because I still am a personal chef. And anytime you don't feel like cooking, you can give me a call. I love eating out, everything to do with food, talking to everyone, and being a host of Table for Two. But I want to hear about you, and I want to hear about your cooking and traveling adventures. While you are listening to this, I'm somewhere around the United States, following all the rules. I read up all the rules, and I know what's going on there. And I check them daily, so we're keeping up with all the quarantine laws and rules. And even though I can't be in the studio, we're doing my show right here in the backyard because you guys want more shows, and I'm making that happen for you. Thank you to everyone who wants. Oh, ZK's giving me instructions. Is that better? People are asking me for new shows, and we want to deliver really big. Thank you to ZK. Everyone, stop for a minute and give ZK a big clap for coming out to the 5 towns and setting up a studio in my backyard. He's amazing, and modern technology is fantastic. I met my first guest. We're going to have a great lineup. We've got Noam Nazar, our first guest, and then we're going to have Malki Hirsch from Kiss the Kosher Cook, and then Alexander Rappaport from Must Be on the show as well. I'm sitting next to Noam. Noam is in HALB, Hebrew Academy of Long Beach. My daughter is in the girls division, and he's 12 years old. He reached out to me through our modern technology of Instagram and said, hey, do you want candy? I'm like, hey, I'm a human being. Of course I want candy. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Noam.
So my name is Noam, and I'm 12 years old, and my dad used to travel all over to Europe, Germany, and he just kept on bringing back Starburst and Crunchy and all this chocolate. And
have a look. ZK is going to zoom out for those who're watching on our YouTube channel. Look at that stuff he has.
So at one point, my dad was going to the UK every single week, and he was like, "No, where's all the Starburst going?" Because I kept on asking him to bring more and more Starburst. He was like, "Where is it going?" So I'm like, "I'm selling it in school." He's like, "Good for you." I'm like, "Thank you." So then I asked him, I'm like, since that there's so much demand in the UK, can I start a website which is now called koshercandystore.com, and he was like, sure. So I started the site right before Purim, and this is right before
Corona. When Corona was just a beer.
Right.
That's what I say.
Right.
Before Corona, when Corona was a beer, yeah.
Exactly. So I got my first customer, and a proceed of each sale goes to charity. For example, last week I did for only the 5 towns area. Every order for the 5 towns area, $10 goes to Kosher Response, and I made a $180 donation.
That is fantastic. So proceeds from every sale are going to different organizations.
Yeah.
And it's so needed right now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when COVID hit, it was just like who doesn't need candy during quarantine when you're stuck up in your home?
Spoken like a true 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So when is your bar mitzvah?
December.
December. You practicing?
Yeah.
What parsha?
Vayishlach.
Okay, my brother's Miketz. It's Shabbos Chanukah.
So the week before that.
Okay, see, I wouldn't even know that. The order. I'm not so good with the order. Okay, so this is really exciting. So you have a website, you have your Instagram. Can we try some of these things? So
Sure.
I'm actually going to give Noam some Australian candy at the end of this. But you may have to go before the show's over, so I'll drop it off by you.
Got it.
Okay, so let's talk about the potato chips. We can't get this stuff in the United States, correct?
So this you could get, it's just not kosher, and resources tell me, aka YouTube, that it's not the same flavor. This it's like more of a kick. It has like more flavor, and the one here is more like.
It's my mouth started watering. I'm smelling it. I'm opening the bag and smelling it. It is all dressed, which means it's kind of like ranch.
It's all the Ruffle flavors. So it's ketchup, salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion. It says in the back.
Okay, here I'm gonna read. You think I can read this with my eyes?
It's right over here.
You read it.
Where is it? It's on my site.
Okay. There's a lot of French on this as well. And it has the COR on it, which is Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. Hadama, Baruch Adonai, Chalam Borei Pirama.
Amen.
Listen to that crunch. This is amazing. Oh my God.
It's really so good.
I
grew up on this every single day.
I love potato chips. I would rather have potato chips than the sweet stuff, but I will try your sweet stuff. Okay, what else?
So this is
I'm going to have another one, but I'll block the microphone this time.
So this is ketchup. You might think you have ketchup chips here in the U.S., but these it's the ones here I find more sweet, and it's more like red. This is more of like a spicy flavor.
I wasn't going to try it, but I now will.
And it's a burgundy flavor, burgundy color.
Look at that, guys. Look at that chip. Okay, here we go. Doesn't have a stronger smell like the other one, does?
No, for sure doesn't.
Yeah, okay. It's tangy.
Yeah, it's really
tangy. Okay, great.
Now,
salt and vinegar is great, but I'm not going to try that now.
Salt and vinegar.
Jalapeno cheddar.
These are interesting. First
is that good or bad?
It's good interesting.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
When you first put it in, I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, so I should eat it first?
Eat
He's so cute, I can't take it. Okay. Cheesy.
First one you put it in your mouth. It's like a cheddar. It's a cheddar flavor, and then when you get to the middle, it's a mix of spicy and cheddar. Then at the end, it's like a spicy flavor.
Spicy finish. Oh yeah, here's my coffee. But not too spicy.
It's really I do not like spicy, and these are my all-time favorite.
Okay. Oh my God, Noam, this is amazing. All right, what have we got next?
These are my favorite Ruffles.
Really?
Those used to be my favorite. Now these are.
All right, it's a rough job, you know. At least I should be doing it. Okay,
exactly.
Me and you. Okay. And I happen to love, out of all the potato chips, I love Ruffles the best. Because I love the ridges.
The ridges, yeah, same.
1984, a long time ago, my parents took us to Israel from Australia. And we had to make 2 stops on the way. We went to Hawaii to change planes to a plane in Los Angeles. We stayed in Los Angeles for a week, but we had to change planes in Hawaii. You couldn't go straight from Sydney to Hawaii, from Sydney to Los Angeles back in those days. You had to land in Hawaii. So we landed in Hawaii, and my mum goes to the airport looking for stuff. She finds Ruffles with an OU, and that was my first time I had Ruffles at Hawaii airport, and I fell in love with that chip. And since I'm 14 years old, or 15, I love that chip.
I just like ridges. Plain I don't like, but those specific
No, you're right. These are the best.
Right? Those are the best.
Bye. The show's over now. I just got to go eat this. See you later. Music sponsored by Cat and Pie. Okay, just joking. All right, great.
All right.
Talk to me about the
Move on
chocolate.
to the chocolate.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about the gum. Oh my God, we could just be here all day together. This
Okay.
is so fun. Okay.
First, you have to try this. It's the best. This,
Okay, so
this,
I'm not a peanut butter person.
this doesn't have peanut butter.
Okay, good. And what's this one? A
This
crunchy?
is the crunchy.
Change your colour of your day. Do you know what that means?
No.
This is, okay, so that's crunchies are from Australia also. We have them in Australia. And we say, the ad used to be when I was a kid,
Yeah.
crunchy, it'll change the colour of your day. No, that was the ad.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that because on the ad they would have people taking a bite and they would change colours.
So, the double decker, it says the double filling bar. You might think, why is it double filling? It's 2 chocolate bars in one bar.
Kind of like a Twix,
The Twix is like really 1 bar. But
it's one, because it's like cookie and chocolate. This is 2
right,
different
so
chocolates.
it's like a Rice Krispies type of a cereal. And then the top is like nougat and marshmallow.
Oh, you're killing me, you're killing me. So what bracha do it? Shahako, right?
Yeah, most
Okay.
likely. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah. It's insane.
This is what we snack on all Shabbos long. Not all Shabbos long.
After
but
you're flashing.
yeah.
Oh my God, this is good stuff. Is it okay? Come up and try some. He's like, Naomi, after the show, don't worry. Just don't finish it all. Okay, I'm only having one little bite of everything. Okay.
All right.
So crunchies I'm not going to try now because I've had these. These are amazing. I love them. Honeycomb in the middle. Whenever I go to Australia at the airport when I land, I buy one of these.
Of course.
Now in Australia we
Also
have a
in
list.
London.
Right, yeah.
Also in London. All right. Let's.
Twix. Oh, these are melting.
Seems like it's melted. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to open now because it's melting because it is really hot outside.
It's super
CK,
hot.
it's dripping, right? Yeah, sorry. It's the air conditioning.
This
Maltesers.
might not be melted. I have no clue.
You had a really cool looking one before. Oh, yeah, this one.
Oh, munchies.
Munchies.
Those might be melted.
I like,
Those melt
no,
easily.
they don't feel melted. I like Maltesers a lot. When I go to the movie theatre when I was a kid, I would have a Malteser and I would put it in my mouth and I would let the chocolate
That's
melt
exactly
in my mouth.
what I do.
Right? You have
Yeah.
to like know how to eat it. See, I was a foodie even when I was a little kid. Okay, so this is, I've never had this one before.
It's like a caramel.
Okay. There's silence on the air.
It's so good,
Oh my God, no, it's really good.
right?
I like that one. I've never had this one before. Okay, now let's talk about the gums.
The gums. So
I've had,
let's
he
put
also has
these off to the
Maltesers
side.
and Aeros.
And this caramel bar.
Caramello, yep. I've had this in Australia also growing up. These are delicious because I love anything with caramel. This is
I
delicious.
personally do not like caramel, but these are the all-time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Starburst. Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's not pretty good. It's really good.
Well, I think everything you're selling you've really enjoyed. Okay. Oh, this is a twin pack. So I've
Yeah.
never actually, even though you sent these to me before when we first spoke, maybe you opened that.
Yeah,
I never
I'll
tried
open
because my kids ate it all up.
it. You have to go
I'm
like
going to take this on my road trip, some of this stuff.
Of course.
Okay, so it's like, guys, it's like a chewy. It's so
It's like
amazing.
a taffy.
It's so amazing that you do this, you know, that you've got a business and you're not even bar mitzvahed yet.
I didn't think that this would actually like grow
Take off.
big, but now
You're
when
saving,
I
you're saving,
look at it,
You're saving big.
yeah, it's good, right?
If I was 12, I would love this.
My favorite colors are the red and the purple.
Right, so,
This is not cherry. It's like a strawberry.
what colour is that? Purple.
Purple is
My husband loves
black
purple.
currant.
Yep.
Gonna put that back.
I definitely like the chips better. Now let's talk about the gum. This is very coveted. People
All right.
really...
These two are my favorite. I personally do not like mint, so that's why this is really, really minty. This,
Good for your breath.
exactly. This is, it's like a sweet mint. It's not minty, but it has that mint flavor, but it's also like sweet. So I personally like this. This is great for kids like my age who just love
that's good.
fruity.
I like fruity. That was good.
This
I like that more than I like the Starburst. Even though that's fruit. Yeah.
So these two are my favorite. I don't know about you. These I still in a 5-pack, so don't worry. It's not like one tiny thing. But this is a very, very minty, like more than extra mint gum.
Okay, like burst of mint. And what are those? I've never seen those before.
These I just got on my site last month. They're oodles, but in different flavors.
What is an oodle for those of us who are over like 12?
You don't know those candies in gourmet or in the kosher supermarkets? They come in like a pouch and it's like little balls of candy. Comes in like blue raspberry and strawberry.
Maybe if I saw it. Oh, it's like a thin flat package with foil. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, I know it.
So
Okay.
these are like oodles in cola flavor and in bubblegum flavors. I sell these in minis, not in these big tubes. I sell 5 of them. It's like
Okay.
5 tiny pouches, and they're really good. I have to say, I do not like bubblegum. This is really good. If you like Coke or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper, this is the right thing for you.
It's amazing how you like what's right, what kids. I mean, which kids in general don't like candy, but like you're sourcing the right stuff. How did you find that? Particularly, your dad's not flying right now, right?
My dad is not flying, so what I do when I wake up at 3 a.m. and I have nothing else to do.
Why do you wake up at 3 a.m.?
Good question. I have no clue.
Yeah, me also. Since Corona started, or always? I started in Corona.
It's like once in a while.
Oh, okay. I have a hard time sleeping since Corona started.
Or when I go to bed late and I just have nothing to do
you're
besides for watching
overtired.
YouTube, I just shop for candy.
I love this guy.
So I went to my supplier catalog and I'm like, let's find some stuff. So I found these millions and it said tangy, flavored, little whatever. I have no clue what it said.
And
And then I went on to the list. It's called isikosher.uk.
that's what we're going to come back to. Yeah.
And I searched up millions, and it said cola and bubblegum. I'm like, sick.
So sick. That's good. I learned that when they say it's sick good.
It's
not
like
sick bad.
it's
like that's the bomb. As opposed to bomb, it's bomb.
it's like better than good. It's like 10 times higher.
So a question when you reached out to me, because people send me a lot of stuff, and I got to check the validity of its kashrus, right?
Right.
I'm also promoting, like helping promote, but I got to make sure that it promotes like the kosher. So the question was like, how do we know? Because you sent me stuff. I'm like, I don't see a hechsher on this. This one had the COR, but like I'm not seeing a hechsher on this. So how does one know when one travels or buys stuff from you? Where did you do your research from? Who's giving it the hechsher? And things change all the time.
My dad originally travels, and he's the one that told me about the kashrus. So I'm gonna say my whole entire paragraph, which I tell every single customer when they call me about this. In London, much like the rest of Europe, there's no actual hechsher.
Or Australia. Yeah.
On the packaging. Therefore, the London-based Din, which is a kashrus organization, publishes a list. And if you buy from me, you could go to the product, and there's a direct link under the product description to the specific product. Or you could go to isikosher.uk and you could type in the product in the search bar. And then it would tell you.
You have that down to a science, my friend. I absolutely love that. Are you the most popular kid in school?
Now I am.
Great answer. I love it. Well, I think your personality makes you the most popular thing, whether you have these candy or not.
All of my friends, they just want to come to my house and they want to just have candy and not leave.
Okay, my dad, when I was growing up, imported candy to Australia. So I used to have a lot of friends because of my dad's candy business. It's definitely very good. How are your teeth? Do you have cavities?
No.
Me either. And my dad's in candy business.
I mean, I have had cavities, but not. I realize I get a cavity every other dentist visit.
Every other. So I'm for 0. I have 0 cavities.
Zero?
Zeros.
Even
and everybody
when you were
knows.
like a
Never.
kid?
Never. I've never had any dental work done. Only cleaning is every
That's
twice a year.
insane.
Right, I'm lucky, and I always make a joke because my dad was in the candy business. I had a lot of candy as a kid, but always brush my teeth. If you're going to have the sweets, a lot of the dentists will say just brush your teeth afterwards. My daughter's a
Right.
dental hygienist, and she'll say if you're going to have candy, just brush your teeth afterwards. A little bit of teeth health
Exactly.
before you leave the show. Noam, this was absolutely wonderful. You are a powerhouse. I can't wait to see what you become when you grow up. We used to have Eitan Banath, 11 years old, on the show. He used to be a frequent guest. Now he's got
I am a big fan of him.
at 210,000 followers. He started off in that same chair as you, but it would actually be in the Nachum Siegel Network studio before Corona, when Corona was just a beer. He would be on my show all the time, and now he's a big superstar on Food Network and everything. So I can't wait to see what you're going to do. All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, this is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. Noam, you're going to do me a huge favour so
Sure.
I can keep the show running. You're going to take all your candy. Maybe you want to just put it inside.
Got it.
Take home what you want to take home. Leave
I don't
me.
want to take home anything.
Oh, this is all for me?
Yeah,
You serious?
I'm not. I am serious.
Road chip, can take it on the road chip. I thought you were taking it home and I'd just take home my chips. Oh, thank you, Noam. You are so sweet. Okay, amazing.
They can even hear me.
Yeah, if they can hear you. They can hear you. Yeah, they can hear. The lawnmower stopped. Okay. Do you want to tap on that glass door and ask one of them to come in? They can pick who they want. I have in the green room. I have a green room. In the green room is Malky Hirsch talking with Alexander Rappaport from Masbia. Oh, and I let them pick who wants to come out next. Malky might be in a bit more of a rush than Alex. Have you two met?
He's the best.
He's the-
My kids love him.
He's the cutest. And look what he left me. But can we just put this inside for me? Because this is like, just throw it on that table there. It's going to melt. Throw it on the coffee table in my kitchen. And you can go around this way. It's okay. Put it, and then, but Noam, when you leave my house, just go around the backyard. Just stay in the. So we're trying to be COVID safe here. I want him to take this chocolate though, because it's going to melt. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Malk.
Hi.
How cute is he?
He's adorable.
I love it that he's like an entrepreneur. He's young.
He's like 12 years
He's
old.
12 years in a bar mitzvah.
That's
yet.
impressive.
I know. I told him that Eitan Banath used to come on my show, and he went on to become 210,000 followers this morning. Calls.
Are you kidding?
Freaking out.
That's incredible.
He's amazing. We like to think that the Nachum Siegel Network, had him here first.
That's what it was.
Yes. No,
That's
it
what
wasn't.
propelled him to stardom.
It wasn't all him. It was all
all him.
Eitan. But, the fact that we were so glad to be at the beginning of
Absolutely.
his career.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I just know him as a superstar, and we can't wait to see what he's up to. Just dump all
No,
that on the
leave
coffee
me
table.
candy.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
thanks.
divide it up after.
Starburst. Thanks.
Yeah, you can take the Starburst.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Marky and I are haggling already for dividing up of the things. You can take home some muffins as well.
Excellent.
Mark, how you
I'm
doing?
good. Thank God. How are you?
Good, a wild ride. I'm sorry it's a bit hot here.
You know what? It's okay right now.
Right, we're in the shade. We
I
moved
have
the
my
table
handsy
to the shade.
fan if I need.
No, I'm so hot. I just want to remind everyone we have a Daniel Renov giveaway that we started last week. So it's still going. If you haven't emailed in yet, please email me if you want to be in the running for one
And
of
what
her.
a book.
It's a textbook.
It's just
So, she told Shlomi on the show before. Shlomi told Danielle on the show.
Yeah.
It's the new purple cookbook. Right.
that's
Yeah,
major.
that's major because
Food,
it's
Spice and Spirit.
that was a textbook and this is a textbook.
is.
But I tell people it's Danielle.
Absolutely.
Right? Like
Absolutely.
it's funny
It's
like
her.
her. It's her words.
Absolutely.
Like, when you try to write, you're an amazing writer, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
about that in a minute,
Thank
but I'm a
you.
terrible writer, and I really have a hard time. I can talk. That's
You're
hence-
such a personality. It's so
Right,
funny
I'm a
how
personality.
It doesn't.
It does translate into
doesn't.
words, though. I can't write. She was able to do that.
That's beautiful.
And I think it's great. So if you want to try to win one of Peas, Love and Carrots cookbooks, you know what to do. Naomi at nachumsiegel.com. And follow us if you all have Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. And Malky, if you do not follow Kiss the Kosher Cook, 20,000 followers. 21.
Yeah, that's right.
Growing daily. It's
Thank God.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, Malky, how you doing?
Yes.
It's been this-
Thank God.
Tell me about this wild ride of the last few months with Corona, staying at
God.
home with 5 kids,
Oh.
cooking non-stop.
It's yeah. You think that like things are a struggle before the actual struggle, then you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna say things are hard anymore because they can always get harder.
Right. Mark, you've had quite a journey.
So I'm just gonna be like, everything's been great, and it's very funny because during COVID, I felt like finally people in my were able to understand the struggles that I've been through
Right.
the past year. So they'd be like, but this is so unexpected. How do you do it? I'm like, this is my world. Like,
Right.
welcome. Have a
Right.
seat.
Right. Join the show.
Join the show.
Watch the show.
Get some popcorn.
But it's what's beautiful that you've been able to share
I love
everything
it.
through your writing.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey?
Sure. Okay.
what you-
So
you can take it from where you want to pick it up
I
from.
know. I feel bad. I don't know where to go because am I doing food here? Am I doing writing here? Can I do everything? Okay, fine.
You're Malky Hirsch,
I
Kiss the Kosher
know,
Cook.
I know.
It's what makes you
I
and
suppose you're
evolving
right.
and evolving every
But
day.
everything's sort of been redefined, so it's so interesting to
That's
have
okay.
been. I was on your radio program years ago. How many? No, I
a few
feel
years
Naomi.
ago. You've been a few times over
A few
the years.
times, yeah.
We went out to eat afterwards. We've done all
Right.
kinds of foodies
so,
adventures.
So then it was just like me being a cook and a baker and a cute little, Woodmere housewife with a bunch of children that I was raising. And then a year and a half ago, my whole world completely froze and stopped because my husband passed away literally from 1 minute to the next. And then started a new journey of rediscovery, being a widow raising 5 little children, trying to maintain the normalcy of my life before him, because I think that's really key to surviving a tragedy. Getting back to like your life as you knew it before, and then maybe just expanding on things and like maybe having more gratitude and a deeper understanding of like the importance in life, past things that happen to you beyond your control.
I had said to you, you've done some beautiful writing and sharing about your experiences.
And the writing also is new, so yeah.
Right, and I said, Malky, you're such an amazing writer. Like, you stop people dead in their tracks with your words.
Yeah.
And you've always been very eloquent on social media with your stories and funny. But now you're writing these deep things and making them light and comical and so deep and so sincere and so authentic.
And it's totally a surprise, by the way, because when I write it and I read it back, I'm like, hey, that sounds okay.
It's amazing.
I'm so surprised, but like it comes from a place in me that I don't think I ever tapped into because I never
Right.
really had to.
Right.
Like things were sort of like light and airy and fun because I was able to like bake cookies and my kids would enjoy it and neighbors would come over and be so much fun to be a balabusta. And then like life completely hands you something completely unexpected, and then you have a choice to decide what you're going to do with it.
Right.
It's entirely up to you.
Your dad is a great writer.
He is amazing.
Your dad is
Yeah.
the Jewish
Five
Five
Towns
Towns Jewish
Times,
Times.
yeah.
5 Towns Jewish Times. I'm
Larry.
tongue twisting. Larry Gordon and Esther.
Yep.
Great personalities of the 5
Great
Towns.
person. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And we see now where Malky gets it from. We've had her sister and brother-in-law of the show,
yes.
Pele
Bethel Creamery, Bethel,
Bethel
Mhm.
and
Pele Poultry.
Pele Poultry. We've had them on the show. I feel like we're one big.
Have you had Nachi? You haven't had
haven't-
Nachi.
Does he do food though?
No, he's Meaningful Minute.
Right, I know,
That's
but
true.
it's kind of like a food show. How to cook in a minute. I could tie him in.
Meaningful Cooking in a Minute.
I could tie him in. I'm good at
I
tying
think he actually
things
helps his wife in the kitchen. He
in.
knows how
Okay,
to
there
make
you go.
poppers.
Maybe I'll have them
So-
both in. Maybe I'll have them both in.
You should.
That might be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've really developed and changed and moved with the times.
I want to incorporate the things I always did before because that made me happy.
Right.
And it's always important to like keep the things in your life that make you happy, and then just expand on the other life experiences that I've lived through recently.
What's
and
been
share it.
what's been the most fun thing about COVID? Let's go with light and fluffy, and then we'll talk about
most
the
fun
hardest
thing about COVID is when I say most fun or like the least stressful thing is the kids not having homework. Even though they were home all day, it was like so nice.
I'm with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Who wants to sit on top of their kid's head with homework?
I'm
no
with you.
homework. And sometimes the teacher would be like, "Oh, I didn't see your son on Zoom." I was like, "Oh, okay." He didn't
I
want to
once got 5. I once got 5 calls in one day. Promise you. My daughter was is such a good girl. Like she
Nora's in bed.
yeah.
She won't come to the computer.
She was so funny. She was a really good kid, and she really is, Baruch Hashem. Those of you who
She's
know
the
it,
youngest.
she's the youngest. But she's one kid at home, and the
She's
Gubby's
an only child, essentially.
Gubby was
Yeah.
a senior in college.
Yeah.
And like they would call me from the school. I didn't see Leora and Cohen. I'm like, okay, I'll tell her to sign in. Or she's like, I was in the bathroom. We have every excuse. But when we got that 5th call, I was like, Leora!
It's
But
hysterical. But
what-
really, can you tell? I mean, can you tell these kids every day, all day for
Oh,
4
Zoom.
months
It's-
to sit in front of a computer? Is it healthy?
It's soul sucking. I did Zoom
terrible.
classes and I loved every minute of it. But at the end of the day, I don't have my audience to feed off.
Absolutely.
And I love my people, and that's why
Absolutely.
Zoom radio shows. I did a Zoom radio show with you.
Yeah.
You, Naomi,
Yeah.
and it was I can't remember who the other person was.
Who was it?
Was it Mel? Maybe Mel.
Maybe.
I
remember.
can't right. Oh, look
It's
back
fine.
to the archives. Go to the archives on our app, Nachum Siegel Network app. Download it now.
But you know, it's very funny because after COVID started the first week, and they said to us originally it'll be a 2-week, 2-week thing. I thought to myself, you know, it's so funny how much of it your perspective changes. I remember being completely panicky when my kids would have a snow day, or they'd have a federal holiday off on Monday. I'd be like, how am I gonna get through this day? And now you're like, I could do anything.
You can do anything.
I could do anything.
Right, we have had the ability with Corona to redevelop our brands. From
Absolutely.
Moishe Hirsch with his...
He's a rock star.
He's
a rock star.
rebranding his he
way
had
he
an egg
hustled,
factory. He made turned his place
You
into
see people's true colors when you see like people like there's like something being forced on them. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna thrive. I'm not gonna break. You'll
Right.
see. I'll be better.
Right. So
he's like-
I took the opportunity. I with my book tour for Perfect Flavors.
Yeah.
Trying to hold on to that to try to still
Yeah.
make book sales.
Yeah.
Still try every day.
Yeah.
That ended abruptly. I was traveling. I was supposed to go
Right.
to Cleveland and Kentucky doing all these really cool
Yeah.
things. Not Cleveland, Cincinnati. And I was really looking forward to that. Nashville. I'm like, okay, that's cancelled. I'm going to start a Zoom business.
Absolutely.
And I did 60 classes.
Amazing.
You just rolled with the punches.
You know,
More
things
and more
happen.
cakes, more and more breads.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, you know, if something happens that isn't part of your plan, your master plan, because you're the one in control, then you have to just basically say, okay, this is not the way it was supposed to be, according to me, but this is the way it is, and we're going to just do it now. We're going to do
Right.
it the way it's supposed to be. That's
Right.
it.
And you had a bar mitzvah, so a few
Did.
mazel tov,
A
a
COVID
beautiful.
bar mitzvah.
Yeah. So
You know what?
it was beautiful.
Again, a blessing in disguise.
It was fun.
I have to say, it was something that was a source of great stress before COVID even happened. And then when I realized that it would be affected, like the hall wasn't going to open in time and all this stuff, I thought to myself, it was a gift from my husband. It was literally a gift, and it's horrible to say, but to have that comfort level of like, I don't know if you ever had a simcha in your backyard, or like, it feels so different.
I love a simcha in my
Right?
backyard.
It feels so different being home and being able to like celebrate in the place you're most comfortable with the people you love.
Right.
You know, rather than getting into a Spanx and going to a hall. You know,
I'm with you.
it's like,
I'm with
who
you.
wants to do that? Who wants to eat appetizers
I-
in heels? I was in grass. I wore flats.
Right, right.
You know, people loved me and they came. We partied. My son was the happiest, no matter if it was in Arturo or if it was on Barnard Avenue. He was happier on Barnard
And
Avenue.
people were so happy to celebrate with you.
It was amazing.
It was great. I think we're all learning a lot from this whole.
Absolutely.
What did you make the most of? What food was the most popular thing in your house?
Pizza.
Right.
Nonstop.
Did you make your own?
Always.
Of course.
Oh my
Right.
God. Yeah, but I do. I do overnight pizza sometimes.
What is
I'll do-
overnight pizza? Wait,
So I'll make
whoa. What
So,
is?
No, it's.
I make overnight kugel. That's going on in my kitchen right now.
I'll make a dough that could be chilled for 24 to 36 hours.
Of course you can. You're Milky Hirsch.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying it's like the same kind of fermented thing as a sourdough, but it's not necessarily sourdough. Yeah. I make sourdough pizza now. I made deep dish pizza last night.
I saw that. I
yeah,
saw that.
Yeah, just different things. Melinda's trying to like coach me on deep dish because I'm not.
Which
very-
dough do you use for that?
I used the sourdough.
Uh-huh.
Sourdough pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had the sourdough demo yesterday. So I decided that I was going to take the leftover starter that I had, because when you do a demo for sourdough, you have to strengthen your starter and you have to feed it.
We were talking about that last week with
Right.
Amichai.
Right, okay. So you feed it, and then the thing is with starter is that it grows exponentially in such a short time. For example, I had fed 100 grams of starter the night before. It was a Wednesday night. On Thursday, I had 459 grams of starter.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
And it's also warm, so there's a lot of
yeah,
bacteria
yeah.
in the
If
air.
you want it to grow, I always put it on the washing machine or the dryer. Like the warmth of it.
Not in it,
No,
on it.
on top.
I'm thinking about dough flapping around inside a
The
machine.
starter, no, the yeast. Yeah, no.
Well, it's not yeast.
What?
It's
wild
not yeast. It's wild yeast.
Wild yeast,
Not
yeah.
to be
No.
mixed up with
Natural.
a packet from
Not Fleischmann's.
From the
Hashtag
air.
Not Fleischmann's.
It's from the air,
It's
the
from
yeast
the
from the
air,
air.
the bacteria from the air that mixes with the flour and your hands and the water. It's just like a beautiful, it's like the craziest gift from God.
Right, you know, they say when you attempt Mitzrayim, that's what they were talking about. They were
Absolutely.
waiting for the sourdough
They
bread
were
to
waiting-
rise.
The thing is,
they
that
didn't
with
have
sourdough-
Fleischmann's yeast in
of course
Mitzrayim.
not, but the truth
There's
is,
no
it takes-
gourmet glut back then.
No, right. It takes 12 hours for sourdough to rise. So what are you going to do when, you know, you're being chased out of Mitzrayim?
Right,
You just run with dense flatbread. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Just call it a day.
right. It's true. And then make a hello sandwich.
Exactly. So yeah, pizza was definitely a very popular item.
Most
in the
popular
Hirsch.
drink.
Most popular drink for mommy was alcohol.
I didn't even mean that, but yes, the quarantini.
Yup.
What does
after
what
hours,
does Malky Hirsch drink?
Malky Hirsch drinks very sweet, girly wine, but Faye Elephant from Spruce is trying to
Love Faye
she's
Elephant.
trying to bring me to the other side. I always ask her, I'm like, why is this wine more expensive? She goes, because it's good and people like it.
Yeah,
and you
but-
like ginger ale.
Right. So this is what I don't understand. I've had bottles that cost $1,000. I'm like,
Have you?
yeah. I've been really
No.
lucky. I've had some
What
really
kind
great.
of wine?
I don't know. I go to these events and they go,
And you're
Chinese.
like-
It's from 1996 and it's this and that. I'm like, yeah.
I can just literally have
It tastes
them.
like a $10 Merlot. And they're like, want to kill me. But I've learned
It
from
tastes
Jay
like
Books.
Bartonura.
Right. But it's like scratches my tongue. I'm not, they all know, everyone who's watched my show and been part of my Nachum Siegel network, and I've had Jay Bookspam on the show, and
You-
Gabriel Gellum
you
and Adam
meet the
Neustaedter.
coolest people.
I'm so lucky.
You
and
are.
they try to teach me about the red wines, but I'm still the white wine rosé. I love white wine. Rosé all day, baby.
Rosé all day.
You know they're having them in cans now?
Do you know they have Bartonura in cans?
In cans. I've got some in my fridge for tomorrow.
Mommy juice.
And mummy juice. That goes in
True.
the bottle.
Keep it survival.
I actually have a very nice white Schiller wine in my fridge for Shabbat.
Yeah.
They sent it to me, and I'm very excited to be
I
drinking that
I
today.
had a thing of wine last week from Spruce. I think it's called Lou. Maybe it's French. $15, white.
Delicious.
Incredible.
See, right,
Incredible.
so you are going to be like me. You're going to be the white wine, the Riesling, the
the
Chardonnay
rosé,
girl.
yeah.
And don't let those
I'm a cheap
people...
date.
But don't let those... But they're expensive also. Don't let those red wine people bully you into thinking that's so
They're
good.
so snobby.
The
With their, I
the-
taste fruity notes and oak.
You are lying.
What are you talking
It's
about?
like, wait.
It doesn't taste like fruit.
Wait, it's like when people say, "Oh, I love my high heels; they're so comfortable."
No, they're not.
I know that you are lying.
You are a liar.
When I wear high heels, I have to have an epidural first.
Exactly. I go to the podiatrist the next day because
Right.
my foot is completely shot.
Right. So there you
You're
go.
a liar.
You're a liar. So we can own up that we like. Have you ever had a late harvest Riesling?
So good.
Right, I love
So
it.
good.
But the Herzog ones are nearly done. The Baron
Herzog also has a muscat.
Muscat.
Oh my
Nachum
God.
Siegel loves that. That's
Nachum, do you want to share?
that's
I
his
need some
favorite.
for Shabbos.
Okay, we need to talk to Gabe Geller.
Okay, Gabe Geller, I need some muscat.
Yeah, the orange muscat is divine. Even
So
the
good.
black muscat, the
I haven't had
Jeunesse
that.
one, is excellent.
Really?
Yeah,
Never-
really,
haven't
really
had that.
good. And it's good cold, which normally you don't drink red wine cold. This
It's very
is good
fun. There's
cold.
a great story about my husband who was a big red wine drinker. Israeli wine. His favorites were Hamara, the cave.
Oh, yeah.
He loved Alexander the Great. He loved really, really good bottles.
Phone is gonna
he
melt.
comes. You should put
My
some-
phone is boiling hot. Oh, my God. Sorry.
So anyway, he comes with a bottle of red wine, probably around $100, you know. Comes to bring it to my parents before Shabbos, and he sleeps somewhere on the block, and then he comes for the meal.
Who's this?
My husband.
Your husband.
When we were engaged.
Oh, when you were engaged. Okay.
So
I was thinking, why is he not sleeping in...
My parents proudly take it out of the fridge, and they're like, "Oh, we chilled it." My husband's like, "Well, that's ruined." I had no. My father doesn't drink. We never had red wine. You don't chill red wine.
Right. So we grew up. My dad used to import like candy and wine and Israeli foods and South African
wow.
candy also. So I've had a lot of booze in my day. So my dad would open up wine at the dinner table when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because I just got this wine in, let's try it. And we
Yeah.
were like, also the drinking age in Australia is 18. So probably from like our teenagers,
interesting.
he would just pour us a little bit of wine. So we really grew to like wine. I have grown a little bit to like certain red wines, but really not the very dry ones. They scrape, the
know.
tannins scrape my tongue.
They're just so
Dry.
they're just.
They're just so
bitter.
dry. Dry ones are dry.
And then you have to let it breathe. What do you mean let it breathe? I
Right.
don't understand what that means.
But it's all about really. I remember once, it was either Jay or Gabe Geller bought in a red wine, but they'd put it in their car from the night before in the winter.
Yeah.
From the Bayonne, where the warehouse is for
Okay.
Royal Wines,
Yeah.
and they brought it to the studio the next day, but it sat in the car overnight and was cold. So the red wine was cold. So I wanted it to warm up before the show.
Yeah.
So I sat in my Nachum Siegel Network chair, and I
Yeah.
put the wine behind my back, so my body heat, and I leaned back so my body heat would warm the wine, but
Yeah.
it did not work.
That's funny.
Yeah, so what do the kids drink?
Kids, what do they drink? What's their favorite thing that I make? I mean, they love smoothies, which, you know.
Because there was a lot of milk going on.
Oh my God. So you have to, honestly, you are the queen of chop competitions. You know that
Right.
when you open a box, right, and
Yeah.
there's stuff in it, you're like, how am I going to use this?
Right.
So that was really the case, you know?
We drank a lot of milk. We love milk.
So my kids don't straight up drink milk.
I will have we put milk on the table when there's a milk at dinner.
Oh, no, that never happens
Oh.
here. No. So I could do either I'll do like a smoothie with like chocolate or coffee kind of thing, or I don't know. I have one son that loves lattes, which is so funny, but like super light. Not
Right,
really
a drop.
Practically not coffee. You know,
It's like a drop of coffee with a glass.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
how Svi drinks his coffee.
Really?
Yeah. They can have a drinking competition.
So that, yeah, like that kind of thing, smoothies and coffee and, you know, whatnot. But literally every day during COVID, it was like, Mom, what's for breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Yeah,
was
right.
just
You were
like-
feeding everyone.
I was like, I didn't sign up for this.
right.
3 meals?
Crap, I
3?
know.
Anyway, but yeah.
We're taking a photo. Sorry. ZK's our cameraman, so we're going to smile for the camera. Hey, Marky, thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming
It was
on
my
the show. Just a little
pleasure.
chit chat,
It was
catching up with you.
awesome. Thank you.
I can't wait till we get back to the studio. We'll have to come in, go to the farmers market. I haven't been to the farmers market
I
in
would
ages.
love the Union Square one.
I know. Let's
Wednesday.
go.
Yeah, I would love to.
I know.
It's been too long. Are they still? Is it?
I don't know. Is
Happening
it
now?
back? I don't know. If you guys know anything, I'm sure it's still around. I'm sure it's opening up a little
wonder.
bit.
Okay.
Right, but you have to drive in because I'm not going on a train.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
amazing.
Excellent.
Mark, thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
When you-
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. So, up to
Absolutely.
no end, and always great friendship and great in the food world and out of the food world. And
Absolutely.
thank you for
Where it
coming
matters
on.
most.
Yeah, you know it, girl. You know it. Okay, we have
Have a great Shabbos.
good Shabbos, Malky. Malky Hirsch, Kiss the Kosher Cook in the at-home studio today. It was so great to see her, as always cooking up something in her kitchen. But right now, we've got a very close friend of ours, of the Nachum Siegel Network, and of the New York food community. Alexander Rappaport of Maspia is joining us. Put that on. You can take your mask off. I'm going to, if you're nervous, he's got his mask on, but I'm going to move here. How you doing?
If you go closer to this fence, you get more shade.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm already cooked. I'm like, oh, hi, you back? Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you stay another little bit, I can give you the stuff and the chocolate.
I'm gonna walk through Serenitas.
Okay. Oh, okay, great. And Noam was just hanging out in our back. Okay, Noam was amazing. Isn't he impressive?
Yes.
He needs to do one of the trailer campaigns.
All that chocolate.
I know,
Wow,
right?
and all
Right?
these
Feed the needy with
goodies.
chocolate. Feed New York chocolate. So Alex has been a long-time guest of the Nachum Siegel Network on Nachum's show, on my show. I've been involved with Maspia for a very long time since I met Alex. It just, as a foodie or someone who loves food, this organization spoke to me. I got involved on many different levels, from admin a little bit to
And even during COVID, you know,
rolling up my sleeves.
And when we couldn't get beans put into packaging, you were there just scooping them up and kind of get them into bags.
Anything
And
to try to help.
Cooking food for the hundreds or the thousands who are coming at our doors every day.
Tell us a little bit about that. Give a recap on Maspia for those of you who are tuning in and who don't know what Maspia is, a quick catch up, and then tell us about the whole process with COVID and what's been going on.
The Maspia started in April of 2005, and we have 3 locations, 2 in Brooklyn, 1 in Queens. We now do 2 main things where people who are in need for a dinner come and have a dinner, or people who want to take home a week's worth of groceries and do it at home. Let's say for a mother with children, it feels more comfortable to take food and cook it at home rather than bring their children to a soup kitchen. That's the second part we do. Now, during the outbreak, since like after Purim, we have and had an increase of 500%, meaning to say
500%, not 500 people, 500% growth in people that need food. Hungry people.
yes, and in the beginning it was that panic that we all had. We started like stocking our homes during like the quarantine stay-at-home time. Then there was these pressures of like people didn't have groceries, didn't even have all foods, and then people were not at their jobs. And while the majority of us got different, or you stayed with your job, or your job was still paying you, or you got unemployment, or you got stimulus, or you got this or that, there's always a huge number of people who fall through all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example of two people who called me this week of both ends of the spectrum, and this just tells the story here. There is a donor of ours who he's not on payroll. He makes a couple of bucks every couple of years by selling something or being involved in some investment and whatever, and then lives off it for quite a while. This person donated every time he married off one of his children, donated the night of the wedding and came to sponsor, and came the night before with the chassan or the kala and volunteered.
Oh, that is the most beautiful way to start off a marriage for them.
Exactly.
So volunteering at a
And guess what? This week was the second time where the wife called me that they need food.
No. That's heartbreaking.
That's terrible.
So one of your donors became a donee.
Yeah, someone who needs. And I had a similar thing that happened this week, and like now as we're speaking, we're into this quite a bit. It's not in the beginning of the pandemic. It's deep into it. And someone who was very big in the kosher food, like he was a manager in one of the bigger plants, and one of the very well-known kosher food places, big manager, was let go a couple of years ago. It's very hard for a person that age to find something new. His unemployment ran out before COVID, right? And he just needs food. And what's happening now is because you were there when there was like long lines.
Long, down the block, many blocks.
So in order to reduce the lines, what we did is we made use of an app that gives people like a half-hour window, like they get a semi-appointment. Like they get like a half-hour window, and we put 20 people in that half hour. A good day we put 30 people in that half hour. A tighter day we'll put 15 people in that half hour, and people would get like communicate with a robot that we have, like a software, like an app, and they would get, so like this, they don't come and stand online all day. They just have that
time slot.
A time slot.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so he was having trouble getting a time slot, and that's why he texted me. But what we have is we now put out over 1,000 hours a week at each location, over 1,000 slots a week at each location, and it's not enough. There are
1,000 slots
at each,
and that's not enough in 3 locations.
3 locations means we put out over 3,000 slots, but we have like between 10 and 15,000 people a week seeking slots. So it's kind of like...
Do you have enough volume of food to give out to 15,000 people?
So that's the challenge. That's the challenge. We have gone from a staff of 10 to sometimes have another 20 temps. Like it's a total of 30. We've gone from serving about 2 trailers or 3 trailers of food a week, like these big containers, like in volume, if you come to think of it, we now could serve over a dozen. So the volume, everything that's going on, and because in the beginning it was easy to do it on the street, although we were disruptive because everything else was closed, but now people are trying to open up and getting back to normal, and we're there and the lines keep on growing. So we're trying to like rein it in, come up with ideas to not have such a large footprint. And you were there a couple of days ago, right? So we try to like a little bit rein it in, make it a little bit more normal.
Yeah, it was much calmer than when I was there the first time. The first time was in the height of it.
Yeah. So we try, but that we're just hiding the truth. Meaning, say, the demand is still there. We just are trying to have a better feel to what we're doing. We added more hours every day, trying to like spread it out, but we're just not catching up. It's just impossible to the resources it needs to just staff are so long, and the resources it needs to just give people food and good food, meaningful food, not stam like things that people like. We try to do the basics like the beans, flour, sugar, like you're doing chickpeas, like very basic things that people can do their own hummus, their own thing.
So let's talk about this trailer, because when we say, you'll see a lot of the food bloggers and book authors and doing food trailers. Now, they're not talking about a movie trailer. It's a truck.
A container, you could call it.
A container.
If only I would have thought of the word container then.
Okay, but that's all right. So tell us what you're doing, and then you can tie my part in.
Yeah, so I send out to a lot of people. They want to help us kind of like crowdfund. Crowdfund means we need a trailer of chicken. We need a trailer of chickpeas. We need a trailer of oil. Let's try to get a lot of people together. Everybody, you could donate just one unit. You could donate a case. You could donate a pallet. You could donate the whole trailer. Slowly, we'll get a whole trailer and we'll order it. And we'll get a good price for it because we're all ordering in volume. And we work with the people at Keiko, Kedem, Geffen, Menashevitz.
So I'm doing Geffen garbanzo beans. So help me fill up a trailer.
A trailer, and that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of us got used to having every Shabbos hummus, right? And giving people, what we don't do is like give people like a ready hummus. You know, we want them, because there's so many styles and so many needs. We want to give it an. First of all, it just gets us more mileage. Like when we buy raw and dry and simple. It also allows people from so many different places, like people coming, all kinds of people, to make what they really care, make what they really want. You can
make whatever you want with the garbanzo beans.
Exactly. You have a beautiful
hummus,
recipe.
You can do a salad. Here in Danielle Reynolds' cookbook, right in front of me, on the front page of front cover of her book, is chicken soup. Moroccan style, has chickpeas in it.
Wow! That's wow, and it's a good protein. One of the things, it's a very nutritious bean. From all the beans, chickpeas has the highest score, I believe. So
I'm not a dietitian, but
and again, hummus became a very popular food, right? So it is the item, and actually, Melinda Strauss has the tahini, so it's that's the
So we love Melinda,
and so what we're trying to do is get a lot of the basic foods crowdfunded by different trailers, and so your thing is kind of taking ahead, and it's kind of nice and sunny.
And it's nice and sunny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
For people who want to sponsor on your trailer, you're doing something special on your trailer, where if they give, $180?
Yeah, people give $180, you're going to get a free cookbook.
That's right. And if they give $360, they get even your Pesach.
Two books. Or you could pick either one. Yeah. Actually, I saw the email. Somebody offered me, someone told me they gave $180 and they want their book, so I forwarded I wasn't sure if they were going to get it. I said, just talk to Alice.
Don't worry, sure. So the way we take care of it, we give people like a promo code on our, we have like a mustbe.org/store, we have an online store, and anybody who's eligible for a gift, we then give them like a free promo code to buy it from our store.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so that's how it ends up like reaching the people, and we get like, let's say if someone gives a donation, they need the receipt of their address, but they want to send the book to some friend.
Right.
So that the store.
So even if you have my cookbook, you could send it to a friend. There you go.
Exactly. So
always hustling the book.
That's right. And
even when you have new books come out, you push your friends' books, you push your own book.
And now you're also not only hustling the book, you're hustling feeding the needy all the time.
I am a big believer in that. It makes me so sad when I think about all the hungry, needy families, and when I saw those lines outside Masbia, I was in Borough Park, and he said, just drive by. I could have come in that day. He goes, just drive by and have a look at these unprecedented lines of people needing food, up by 500%.
And if you come to think of those two families I just mentioned that happened just this week, but it has like someone who was a donor who's now coming for food, someone who was a seller who's now coming for food, people who...
It's crazy.
And it's almost like it's an unprecedented time where it's not. Like, I don't believe people should be embarrassed coming for food ever, but people are. But now it's so normal. Like regular people
If
just
one
coming.
is a little shy and they need food, how could they go about?
So what we do a lot of things, so to speak. There is. We do try to accommodate different things. So we would have the first thing we're now doing is these appointments. Before COVID, we would have some special slots where we would try to do like late night things, and we would say like, if you're a rabbi or a teacher in a Borough Park school, you come every Monday night late at night. There's like a quieter time. If you're a single mother, both in Borough Park and in Flatbush, every Tuesday night, like after hours, there's that.
There's no after hours for Masbia because they're just always working. Let me tell you that this is the hardest working guy.
And then
For
so what we do have that now. During COVID, that became a little bit complicated because there was just so many disruptions. And with the spacing out, social media, like social distancing.
Social media.
Yeah. There was that. Were kind of like a lot. There was a lot of disruption in the specialty times that we were able to give people. Hopefully, we'll get back to it. There's also like one of the saddest things that happened to us during COVID, like from our services point of view, is that we had to close on Shabbos and Yom Tov, so there was no Pesach Seder. There was
right.
no,
So you could before COVID, you could go for a Shabbos meal to their locations in Borough Park and Flatbush, or just
No,
Borough Park?
only
Borough Park,
Borough.
and they'd make Shabbos dinner, and everybody would eat together Shabbos dinner. So you were kind of like must be a family, and everyone was connected, and everyone was connected to each other.
And I still walk on the streets in Borough Park, and I get stalked like with people. When is it opening again? When is it opening again? And these Shabbosim, in the summer, when people are away, it's the hardest. We used to be very busy during those summer days because it's the hardest for people to find. They invite themselves to people usually, but when everybody's out of town,
It's a little bit harder.
It's harder.
Alex.
So we're hoping that we might find some outdoor kind of thing to do the Shabbos meals only.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so maybe we'll start like for Rosh Hashanah or something.
And we've got Yom Tov is coming up. Oh my gosh, really, there's so much to think about now, with COVID hopefully opening up a little bit here in New York, but still trying to manage everyone still being safe and helping all the needy families and feeding all the hungry people and
Exactly,
Alex.
exactly, and with your help
and your help,
and-
followers or.
and yes, and all your friends that you brought to Masbia. You
From
introduced-
NCSY, a big shout out to NCSY New York. I'm giving you guys a big shout out from the OU to Rabbi Zukas, Rabbi Taylor, Yachad. NCSY came down. We want to thank them for joining
Sure,
us.
They helped out. They were there when we were getting like trailer loads delivered of produce and other stuff. We get a lot of donations, and a lot of donations come in randomly when we have volunteers. It's a huge blessing. It's kind of also one of the things that we had a hard time, especially in the beginning of COVID, getting volunteers. But Baruch Hashem, it's starting to get better with your help. But you also introduced us to a lot of the influencers, even to Daniela, even to all the others, the 35 trailers. Most of the people you introduced them to me.
I loved connecting people. I love connecting people, and I love connecting to my listeners, and I want to thank Alex because it goes like that, doesn't it? When you get when you wait around, and when you bing you on, it flies. It flies. Wow. People can reach you on Masbia app, Instagram. You can email Masbia.
Masbia.org. Masbia 6 letters, MASBIA. So it's masbia.org, and it's masbia.org/trailers for the trailer campaign. And you could find Naomi's trailer there.
Actually, it's on my Instagram. I have a whole thing.
Okay.
It's on my feed how to donate or how to get involved, and just Masbia is absolutely amazing. Wow, this hour had just flown by. We are sitting here in the very hot sun. It's a beautiful day here in the Five Towns. We are currently I'm away, but that we did this show last Friday. which is currently right now. Got to figure out. It's a time machine. It's a time machine. Okay, so I just want to thank our sponsors from Kerem, which will have music right up till Lichtbenching from 1 o'clock till Lichtbenching. And then coming up right after this is Mark Zomick with his Erev Shabbos show, 10 a.m. now till 1 p.m. Thank you. Listen to music, dance, sing, cook, enjoy. Thank you. Table for Two with Naomi Nachum on the Nachum Siegel Network. Thank you, Alex, Malky, and Noam. Woo!